Hello there, and welcome to episode 8 of my quick tutorial series for Mind Over Magic, and today we're going to tackle the relics together. This is a topic which I, procrastinated a little bit because I was hoping that we would get a better user interface while I record this, but I am sad to say we're not yet there, but the developers are working on it. That being said, in this video we're going to cover all the things that you can currently do with these, and how to do it and what it's good for, and, well, you know the spirit of the series. That being said, there's also a playlist link down there below leading to the entirety of the series where I explain Mind Over Magic in short episodes. Now, relics. First up, how do we get relics and what they are good for? So, you get a relic whenever you graduate a student, whenever you make an apprentice, whenever you retire somebody out of the staff, whenever you turn somebody into staff. Basically, every big milestone of a mage's career creates a relic. These can be then applied on the mage sheet onto a character. They all have a attunement power, which will then give the mage in question cool skills. So for example, this one will give mage specifically extra powers while they are at death's door. There's also a effect that applies when the relic gets displayed in the school, but more about that later. I want to focus on the attunement and the effect on mages in the first part of the video. So, when you select something to attune, so here currently we don't have anything extra to attune, you can always see if the artifact is already attuned to somebody, and you see that here you can tune different artifacts or relics. I keep calling them artifacts. It's just such a automatism from my end. So, when a relic has been attuned, which is done at the attunement bench, you need to build these to actually attune yourself to a relic, then you need to get yourself a record a priority on attuning. So as you see, all my mages have a very high priority on attuning. They go onto that bench and then they attune themselves until the relic is bound to them, and then they receive the full bonus of that. Then the relic starts also to level. So as you can see here, relics have XP, and while a relic is being carried around, it will level. And when, for example, Amy will eventually graduate, she will drop all the relics that she had on herself, so you can't give them away accidentally, and she'll create a new one while she's leaving. That's the basics. So the level of a relic, as you can see, this one levels up to level 11, and this one levels only up to level 5. The level of the relic is absolutely defining the power of these. The higher the maximum level, the better a relic can be. Oh, I accidentally forgot to say you can also loot relics, obviously, from combat. This is something to just splice in as a side note. So, this means we are after the relics that are of the highest level, but a fully leveled relic like this one that we don't need can be pulverized into gnosis shards. And here, the higher the level of the relic, the more gnosis shards you get. So at the end of the day, this summarizes down to the fact that I personally would recommend, once your school is running well and you have enough staff and you have your tasks through, this is basically done typically between day 30 or 40 or even 20 if you are an experienced player. Then you should really pump your students full with relics. Or you can just start from the get-go because you don't have that many. Just keep in mind, attuning to a relic just takes some time. In that time, your student won't do other tasks like petting your refining beasts and cleaning your school and hauling, for example. But leveling relics is an excellent way to get yourself powerful things for your staff or your combat mages, and gnosis shards and items that help you with crafting and many other things. This is what you do with relics on your mages. So I want to get down now how to make higher level relics before I explain the whole display and plinth mechanics. So the level of a relic is defined by many things. So first up, the level of the wand. If you have a tier 2 wand, you get a higher level relic. If you have a tier 3 wand, an even higher tier relic. If the apprentice in question or student in question has done all their trials, they also get higher level relics. The bronze level trials give only one level per completed trial. These give even more levels per completed trial. So completing the trials, even better relics. Apprenticeship, another extra on the relics. These are all the bonuses that I know of that influence relics. So altogether, if you have a student that has a tier 3 wand and all his trials completed and gets through the apprenticeship into being staff and retiring from that point on as staff, I don't know, maybe I missed something to get the best highest level relics. Let me know in the comment section. I still try to wrap my head around all these things at this very day. But long story short, trials, wand levels, and apprenticeship or not apprenticeship. These are the main driving factors of what kind of level your relic will have. Now, relic slots. Relic slots are somewhat deterministic, and one slot is always random. So, as you see here, Amy is a Raven Cultist, so she has a Raven Cultist relic slot. She's a Fire Mage, Fire Magic slot, and the third one is always a random one. The only thing that I noticed is that no relic slot or relic affinity can be present twice. So they can't be duplicates. That's something that I realized. Also, you can't have the same attunement power twice. So we wouldn't be able to equip on Zayden another relic with the spiritual power, even if we had one from a different affinity. Doesn't work. Now, there's also gifted students. As you see, these guys start with a extra relic level. There's also apprentice hoods that give you extra relic slots. So I know of up to 5 relic slots this way. I don't know if there's any other trick. Share it with the community. So this is what we need to know about how to do relics and all the things. Now on to the next point, and that is presenting your relics on plinths to get the relic plinth powers. So first up, this only works with a archive. The archive is a must-have because without this room, you cannot enable the relic plinth powers. It's a relatively easy room. It just requires a lot of luxury and no negative luxury items. It's a very easy to achieve room. The only thing that is a little bit bothersome about it early on is that when you just get started with your first archive, chances are you'll only have those really high buildings like the banners and columns. Hanging banners are pretty good for low ceiling rooms. Whatever you do, you need to rack up a couple of impressive points, and then you're there. So then you can present your relics on plinths. So this screen is right now, while I'm talking about it, relatively speaking, a joke. I hope they update it with the newest version as soon as possible, but here you can find pretty much all of your relics, not really well organized, and you see here the plinth powers. I want to point out that there are powers that give you better work results. So this reads like 10% chance of 3 more Earth work units per cast. So that would mean when you're repairing, mining, and whatnot, you have a chance to get more out of that. The plinth powers are working for the entire school. And as far as I know, here's the same factor, only one effect per school. You can't duplicate them. What I want to talk about here next, though, is the convocations. So there are relics that enable convocations. For each race, there's one convocation skill. Human convocation, chatted convocation, and so on and so forth. When you present these on your plinth, you get the ability to summon your students now with faction relic. So if I now assign a relic, for example, of a wolfkin, and if I have a wolfkin convocation, I can only do this because I have a wolfkin convocation, thanks. And, the next student I summon will be a wolfkin and have that item already attuned to them and equipped on them. The catch here is that you can only attune or only can put relics in this slot at the level of the presented relic. So your convocation relic basically defines how powerful relics you can equip to the students when you just summon them to define their race. This is amazing because for some magic schools you just want specific mage types more badly than others. So this way you can define what you want and have the student already one relic freely attuned. Now, that is pretty much all I know about relics. The organization of these items currently is really not fun. I there's not much a sort, not many ways to sort them. There's dozens of affinities. I have so far only found out that when you graduate a student, it is random what kind of affinity that the relic will be. It's as far as I've witnessed, always connected somehow to the student's past. That's the only thing that I've seen so far, but I haven't done too many studies. The last thing that I want to point towards to is also the library and the Athenaeum. These rooms allow your mages to, for one, attune faster, which is really worth it in itself, but you also get the chance to attune relics that are higher than the level of the mages themselves, which is really, really useful because, you know, obvious reasons. So get yourself that library eventually just alone to speed up the process. It's so much worth it. Okay, that's all I have to say about relics. I hope it helped you out. If you have any further questions, ask away, and feel free to leave a like, leave a subscribe. Like I said initially, there's a playlist link down below. Feel free to check it out if you are new to the series. The rest of the Mind Over Magic game is explained down there, and I'll do my best to cover future chapters in the series as well. So, thanks for watching. Feel free to support the channel. Many, many thanks if you do already. And, of course, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day.